reference letters. The easier that you can make it for the board and appearing as organized as possible, your board's going to go a lot smoother. If your board has to go through and make a lot of decisions and they can't figure out how you've got it organized or what you've done, it may be a long night, okay? So be organized, give them what they want, don't give them more than what they want. You know, be nice to us. Don't confuse us.
Give us details in the write-up.
I was going to say the details about the project after it's done. Sometimes that's the part that's a little harder. They did a great project for the approval, the original approval process, but sometimes they're not saying what happened or the change, you know, the things that they could have done better or which ways they showed later. So sometimes that's the weaker.
I didn't go into that. A lot of that's in writing. But after the scout does their project, in other words, they've got all the detail in there, they do their project. And one of the reasons we ask for a lot of detail, and I've had scouts come back and say this, well, when you ask them what you do different. The detail is very important because if they've done a lot of detail, when they start working on their project, everything kind of falls into place. It just makes it easy from that point. In my opinion, writing the detail and thinking of all those little things that might need to be in there may be the most difficult part of the whole project. After they complete the project, you basically write how the project went, what you went on day one, what you did on day two, day three. You almost do a part of the project from the detail, the materials you used, the tools you used, what expense you had, just almost that same page except you update it with little changes you made. So you write carrying out the project, how it went, and then the last section is changes that you made. Almost all Eagle projects have changes. They didn't change their project, they didn't change what was approved, but as they got into it and they got their hands onto it, and like that, they saw, well, this is a better way to do it. And it's okay for them to make the change, to make the decision to make those changes in carrying out the project. They're building a path and they were going to do something, and from their best planning, it wasn't working this way, and they made a little deviation. They didn't change the project at all, but they made a little bit of change in the way they carried it out.
Sounds like what a designer.
And that's, you know, like most of us, when you do something, you can have the best plans in the world, but when you get your hands on it, you're probably going to make changes. So that section on there, these are the changes that I made, and this is why I decided to make them. There's the scout's project, the scout makes those decisions. And that's great. Almost all of them have changes. And then you get the signature of the scout, the benefiting organization signature, yes, we accept your project, we're pleased with it, the scoutmaster. Then you get into the application signatures. Okay. I'm just giving you a highlight on a lot of this stuff. Hopefully you will have where you can go back and read in a lot of detail here, and what we have on the website has a lot of detail in there. And if you get into that and you have questions, come talk to us, okay? Any other questions? Has this helped tonight? Okay.
What does Melissa's signature actually mean on that form?
Melissa is a registrar, basically says that from her records of ranks achieved, merit badges and the like of that, from the troop advancement reports that go in, all this is monthly is entered into the scout record. She goes onto the computer basically and says, yes, all this agrees, and signs off. She is a troop registrar that registers what comes in on the advancement reports from the troops monthly, okay? So she's certifying, yes, council records agree with this. Okay. Thank you for your time.